Hi, I'm Colin and welcome to How to Paint Watercolours. So if you're ready, we'll get started and we'll paint this one. Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel, How to Paint Watercolours with me, Colin. And I thought we'd do for this one a little farm scene. So I've stretched my paper, it's £90 weight Winsor & Newton watercolour paper. And I'm just leaving a thin film of water over the page, removing any of the excess water around the edges. Straight in with some Naples yellow. Cobalt blue and burnt sienna with a touch of cad red. Bringing it down over the hills. This is just the first initial washes. And with a stronger mix of the same colour. Swoop in a little in here. Maybe a little in the path. This is a burnt sienna and cadmium red. And as you push it forward through the water, the paper should thin out and get lighter. Same colour, but this has more cadmium red in it. So this is just burnt sienna and cadmium red. I'm looking at a grey green just to add in, just like the late summer colours, you know, when the grass is just drying out slightly. I'm going to lay some of this in here as well. Bring the colours together. And just around the farmhouse I'm just going to drop in some cadmium yellow just to bring in a light patch, help focus your eye. Cadmium yellow light. I think we'll just drop a little bit of this green in around the hills just for now. And that now will give us something to work with. Taking my big flat brush, tucking the fibres underneath the paper, removing any excess paint, strengthening the sky up in one or two little areas. Just keeping where the farmhouse area is just dry. And just want to add a little bit of cadmium orange in here. Just a tiny bit in this back hill as well. Nice and weak. And now we're just going to leave this for the shine to go off the paper. And then we'll just put a couple of patches of Misty Clouds in around here. So we're just going to give this about 10 minutes. Okay, that's been about 10 minutes and there's a fair bit of shine going off it, but it's still a little bit there, but it doesn't matter. I'm going to take a clean goat hair mop brush and I'm just going to take the excess water out, gently squeezing it a little bit and leaving it damp, a little bit thirsty, so I want to take some clouds out and just pat it in. Wiping the brush all the time. And we're just creating a little bit of cloud movement in the sky. And I do like the granulation you get with this cobalt blue. Okay, now we're going to leave this to completely dry. And as it's drying, I'm just going to clip it around the edge with some bulldog clips. So we're just going to leave this now to completely dry. Welcome back. Now that this is basically all dry, the paper is still slightly damp, but it's dry enough to continue. I'm going to come to this background hill and I'm just going to re-wet it all the way up to the line. And we're going to do each one of these hills individually. Then with a stronger mixture of the sky colour, this is cobalt blue, burnt sienna and a tiny touch cadmium red. I'm just going to test its strength. Take it along the ridge line and allow this to drift. I don't want this to be too strong. So I'm just adding some water in places and I'm just paling it right down, almost to nothing here, almost like a lost and found edge. Just gently encouraging it to flow down, softening out the bottoms. And I'm just wiggling the brush. And this hopefully will create an uneven wash kind of thing. Just remove the excess liquid, soften off the bottom. And also into this I want to drop some of the grey green that we had before, only a tiny bit, just in areas. I'm just going to brush this up. You'll hardly notice that this is there. Okay, softening this edge here. Okay, then we're going to leave this to dry. Now that your background hill is dry, I'm just going to run a little wash of cobalt blue on the gable end of this farmhouse over the roof, but leaving the white of the chimney on that side where the sun would strike it, down that side of the chimney. Then with some clean water again, just going to wet this hill here. Then with your grey green, which is the cobalt blue, burnt sienna and Aurelian, I'm going to lay a thin wash back on this hill. And I just want to streak a little bit of cadmium orange into it. Just a very small amount. Then taking some of your grey background hill mixture, cobalt blue and burnt sienna, to run this along the ridge. Just want to wash this out a little bit here, almost so you can't see it. And I'm just allowing this to be slightly stronger than the background hill. Mopping up the excess water off the bottom. And with a stronger mix of that green, cobalt blue, burnt sienna, Aureolin, just going to drop this down in patches as well. Just adding a little bit of movement to it. Once again, just softening the bottoms off with a damp brush. And then we're going to leave this to dry. When we come to this, after this one has dried, we come to this last background hill. This one's a little closer, and we're just going to re-wet this with some clean water, bringing it into the bushes around the farmhouse. Give my arm. And some of your green once again, cobalt blue, burnt sienna and Aureolin. Just follow the hill line all the way down, just allowing it all to drift. Just softening it slightly. And once again with your grey mixture, cobalt blue and burnt sienna, just adding this to the ridge line. Just giving an indication of the way the land falls. Just gently pulling it down. Slightly darker on the shadow side. Just keep your eye on it, softening the bottom all the time. Just softening it around the farmhouse and give it a kind of misty look where you can't tell where the colour ends. And also into that I just want to add a shot of cadmium orange, softening that in as well. Just where the sun has dried the grass out, softening it around the farmhouse. And with some clean water once again, I'm just going to re-wet the path area as we're going to strengthen this up. Burnt sienna and cadmium red once again. Just pushing it forward through the water, allowing it to fade. Horizontal lines, horizontal strokes. Just pulling it into the grass. Strengthening it up in some places. Same mixture but with a bit more cadmium red in it. And I'm going to leave one or two light patches in here. And I like the look of that. And once again, we're going to allow all this to dry. Okay, now your background hill's dry. I'm just going to re-wet the roof of this farmhouse, and we're just going to drop some colours into it. Same to this little one here. Some of your grey mixture, cobalt blue, burnt sienna, the side of the chimney. and some of your green mixture, cobalt blue, burnt sienna and aureolin. And I'm just going to drop on the front of this just some green, like moss kind of thing. And I do want to leave some light patches on the roof. Then with a little bit of a weaker mix of the grey, just running these tree trunks in, some branches. Colour's a little strong, so I'm going to take a little bit out. French ultramarine and burnt umber. I'm just going to run this down one side of the tree and allow it to drift. And I just want to drop in a little light red and French ultramarine, just for a little variation here. These could be oak trees, they look a bit gnarly. Then I want to come back to our grassy areas, and I'm just going to re-wet the whole of this area once again. Clean water. Once again, just a touch of the cadmium yellow shot through it. Taking some of the green. Some of the cadmium orange as well. It helps to mingle everything together, and I'm just shooting a few shots of this in the grass. Just adding some grey to that green mixture. Oops. There we go. Shows you even I can drop a brush. Never panic. We may have to strengthen this up just a little bit later, but right at this moment in time I'm just getting the bare essentials on these front fields. And taking a damp goat hair mop brush, and I'm just going to break this open, and with the cadmium red and French ultramarine, then there's a slightly darker mixture of the same colour. Just again breaking the brush open. Just going to add this to the underside of the foliage just to give it a little bit of dark. And also into that, taking some of your grey green, just a few spots here and there, and then we're just going to let this dry for a moment or two. Okay, I just want to do these bushes around the house, so I'm just masking off slightly where the roof is so the bushes don't come over the top and they go into the farmhouse. Just creating the hedgerow. Nice big bush here. And with some of the darker mixture. And taking some cobalt blue, burnt sienna. Just drop this in along the bottom. Then with a rigger brush, just bring some through and into the bushes here. Twigs, maybe. Just making it dark around the little shed, I think that's what we can call it. Just to help the roof stand out. Once again, just running some branches up. Just touching the paint and moving it, so try not to end up with any hard lines. Then with a damp brush, I'm just going to soften the bottom of this into the grass to create some shadow. A little bush here. A little bit of the dark. Soften that off once again. Back to my rigger brush, French ultramarine and burnt umber. If you haven't got burnt umber, burnt sienna will do. I'm just going to put this gate in. And don't put all the gate in, just leave a little bit to the imagination. Just leaving a little break in it there. Just going to take a little cadmium red, making it stronger at the top, then with a damp brush just tickle the bottom of the door. This is so you can't tell where the door starts and ends, and it doesn't leave any hard edges. I'll pop some windows in, putting the shadow side onto the window frames. This is the cobalt blue burnt sienna. Checking a little bit of clean water here, and I'm just running a little clean water under the eave. Once again with the cobalt blue burnt sienna. I'm just going to run this under here to create a shadow. I mean, as the light's coming from right to left, it's this part that will be in shadow at the back. I just want to create just a little bit of depth, softening the edges off. Just an indication of a few bricks, maybe. Shadow sides of the door. Once again, coming back to your grass, and I'm just going to dry brush some areas in. Cobalt blue, Aurelian and burnt sienna. Give my arm. Then taking some of the path colour. Soften it down in some areas, not everywhere, just a few places. I kind of like that light patch, I'm going to leave it. And then we forgot one or two bricks in the chimney. Maybe one or two ridge tiles on the roof. Use broken lines for this. It's just a suggestion. I'm starting to play with it now, so I should stop. And then we're just going to let all this dry, and then we'll finish it off. We're just going to make the path a little bit more interesting. And I just want to put some sort of shadow lines here where the path meets the grass, but I don't want to be too heavy-handed. I've just mixed in some of the grey with that French ultramarine and light red. I'm just going to darken as if some of this is raised. I'm just going to add a little shadow underneath it. Hardly noticeable, but it will be there. Maybe the odd pebble. I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, please click the like button and please subscribe. All subscribers are welcome. And remember, like I keep saying, subscribing costs you nothing. And I'm just going to put a few birds in. And now you get round to the best bit. This is where you get to sign it, mount it and frame it. I'll leave a few suggestions at the end of the video of some of the painting demonstrations I've made for YouTube. And I'll leave a link in the description box, and if you click on that it will take you straight to them. So once again, I'd like to thank you all very much for watching. Thank you.